and shot 2 is good to go. Okay. Next, I need to make one for shot 3. I'm gonna click here. I'm gonna name this three. Enter. Okay. But as you can see, the eyeball is still at render layer 2. The moment I click here, oh, by the way, I want to turn that on. Make sure all of these are on. The moment I click this eyeball, boom, nothing. There's nothing in the scene to populate. And there's nothing in here, you know? So I'm gonna still select it, render layer 3. As you can see, render layer 3. Right click, create absolute override, right? Right. Then start end frame, create absolute override for camera 3. Create absolute override, right? Start end. Let's look at what we got for shot 3. Shot 3 starts at 39. I'm gonna type in 39. Shot 3 ends at frame 67. I'm gonna put 67. Start frame 39, end frame 67 for render layer 3. Then I need to select the camera, shot 3. Right click, create absolute override. Boom. Shot 3. Collection. Finally, I need to populate my scene. I'm going to select it, right click, create collection. Collection. Select my collection. There's nothing in here. So make sure you have this, all this. Do not, I repeat, do not select your cameras. Just have your ball, your other props, your light dome, your directional light, and however many other lights you have. That's all you grab. Add. I can, just so you guys don't get confused, you can see it here, shot 3. Right? And you could just line it up like this, is fine. Line it up. Don't do overlapping things like this. I talked about doing this before for the sake of in-class presentation, but don't bother. Just keep it like this, this, and this. All on one track. Right? All on one track. Right? You want to take away any variables that's going to blow up your project. Shot 3. So everything is set. But then you want to go back, because since we made shot 3, watch what happens when I click here. Click on the eyeball. Here's shot 2, render layer 2, render layer 2. But you want to take this away, because it just left that behind. So if I click here, click that, 1 to 21, render layer 1, shot 1, right? If I look here, see here, render layer 1, shot 1. If I click here, render layer 2, frame 15, ends at frame 38, renderable camera, shot 2. Right? And here, render layer 2, shot 2, 15 to 38. Finally, render layer 3, I'm going to click it. Render layer 3, file name prefix, render layer 3, shot 3, start frame, specific start frame, renderable cameras, shot 3. Everything is airtight. Follow this exactly to the T. Don't go off tangent and do, like I said, wherever the hell you want to do. Don't do that. That's when things blow up and things go AWOL. And also your cameras, make sure, I selected a camera, make sure you have shape. Each one of these should have shape, right? Camera. And then finally, again, just to remind you, when you grab something like this, the container within your camera sequencer, make sure your scale is set to 1. If I grab this one, shot 2, make sure your scale is set to 1. Grab this one, make sure your scale is set to 1. Make sure your names are in alignment. Make sure your names are in alignment. Okay? Alright. And also make sure your start end frame is aligned. Right? And then also make sure this is all checked on. Right? This doesn't matter. This freaking matters. This also, do not have this checked on. I repeat, do not have this checked on. Only these. Okay? That's everything. And you know, this. And you could also turn on motion blur. That's motion blur. I didn't talk about it before, but it's there. You could turn it on. Right? You don't need to screw around with this. The default is pretty good, but this is motion blur. Hopefully there's gonna be those who are serious enough to watch all the way through. Here's a little extra goodie, motion blur, enable. Right? And then GPU, check this on, highlight that, boom, you're ready. Yeah. Again, use view transform, name.number.extension, TIFF 16. This will wreck your project if you don't get this correct either. Right? So that's everything. And then check, right? R node, rendering, R node, render sequence, right? Render sequence. You want to do enable all render enabled layers, all render enabled cameras, highlight it off. File output. I don't know, desktop, whatever, blah 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 blah. Oh, ignore that. You can make a new camera. Alphabet project, or maybe alphabet renders. Click that, and that will fire off the render and go from there. Okay, I repeat, don't do the Citrix rendering from home. Right, the rendering and the GPU, if for whatever reason there's something that's not working for the GPU, right? I repeat, don't do rendering from Citrix. You have to render it from school. That, or have your own computer with a GPU, NVIDIA GPU. I gave fair warning. I already mentioned to the class, right? And it can't be used as an excuse because I gave more than enough times fair warning. All right, so everything, and you fire it off, and you're good. So that's that. I'm gonna put this on my YouTube channel. I'm not gonna put it on SimSketch because you know, it doesn't have closed captions, and you need to read what I'm saying. All right, so there's one last thing. If for whatever reason, if your render is not working, right? Literally, you have to go in, and then basically you have to wipe out. Like I recommend wiping out everything, like delete. If the first time around it doesn't work, the smartest thing to do is to delete all your render layers and reset up your render layers again. And by the way, do not work from a USB drive. I repeat, do not work from a USB drive. Right? Don't work from a USB drive. Have everything set up locally on your computer. Like, you know, put all the files in where it should be under documents, Maya, scenes, like default scenes, blah 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 blah, all of that. Right? Go by the book. Don't try to do whatever you want. Right? Don't work off of the USB drive. And if the scene doesn't work, delete, delete, delete. Start all over again. Double check your cameras. Right? Double check your cameras. Okay? And then start again. The render layers. And that should do it. And then if that doesn't work, if something else blows up, you need to grab your scene, right? And you need to go to File, Export Selection. That's what you need to do, right? Worst case scenario, if something is really catastrophically wrong, you grab this, your ball, your alphabet letters, your background, your props, your assets, and your lights. Only those. You have to ditch the cameras. You go to File, Export Selection. After that, you have to go to File, New, make a new scene, and then File, Import into a new scene. That is worst case scenario. That's what you need to do. Also, your lights, make sure you have shape, right? Shape. Like I said, the safest way to change the name of like your lights and your cameras is to do it through here. Do it through here, not through the attribute editor. That could be another potential issue why several of the students blew up their project, which I warned about in the first place. Okay, I think that is everything of what to do. Worst case scenario when things don't work. Just go by the book, what I'm saying, and it will work out. Like this is proof right now that it works. Other students, when I looked at their files, they went off tangent and did other things and then it blew up. So don't do that. Alright, that's everything. Bye.